Okay. Okay, so today we are going to be talking about red dot sights, because I got a question and I decided to record a video instead of typing out an answer on Twitter. So a user asks me on Twitter, watching your videos has me thinking about getting my slide milled for a red dot. Does having a single point of aim help you make those follow-up shots? Also, I want to shoot out to 25 yards. If I'm struggling to do that with iron sights, do you think a red dot would make it easier? So, we're going to go over a few points, including why red dots are worth it, shooting at speed with predictive and reactive shooting, we'll get into what that is, and versus like bench shooting for a tight group, especially out to distance, and what makes red dots easier, shooting out farther, and indexing, or what I hear a lot of people call vibes-based shooting. Okay, so first we're going to talk about shooting at speed, or it can be also known as predictive shooting. So, especially when it comes to doubles. So shooting doubles, what it is, the basic description is bringing the gun up to your point of aim, seeing the color of your dot, pressing the trigger cleanly, yet aggressively, pull it straight back, and you're doing that twice, all while looking at a particular spot on the target. So for a USPSA target or IPSC target, the perforated A in the A zone, because A's are the highest points. It's aiming once and shooting twice. And depending on how far away the target is, you can do that at different speeds, and you can also do it by reacting to the color. So what this is from, this question is from a video that I posted of me doing an El Presidente. So what you see in that video is not me making follow-up shots based on my perception of the red dot. What I'm doing is predicting what the gun is going to do, essentially. I'm aiming once and shooting twice. I bring the gun up when I react to the stimulus of the shot timer, see my sight, react to its color, and then pull the trigger twice. Everything else, if I'm doing it right, gripping the gun, bringing the gun up to a proper index, squeezing the trigger straight back, and looking at a spot on the target and not looking at my sight, the gun will come back to my field of vision, and I can see what it's doing, but I'm not reacting to it because I'm just shooting twice. I'm shooting faster than I can react. And you do that 3 times in a row, reload, and then you do it 3 more times. Now contrast this with reactive shooting, which is done to targets that are farther out. I would say 15 to 25 yards, at least for my skill and my equipment. So what that is you bring the gun out, grip it properly, bring it up into your field of view, proper index. You see the color of your red dot, and you shoot. The gun comes back, you perceive the color again, so you know you're on target, and then you shoot again. This is slower. It can also be known as, when you go farther out and do it slower, it can also be known as dot press, or I've heard it called. Basically, instead of perceiving a streak and reacting to the streak, you react to the image of a dot, and you press the trigger, and the bullets go where you're looking. All this in stark contrast to bench shooting, or shooting for groups or things like that. All that is fundamental marksmanship, where you bring the gun out, squeeze the trigger until the shot breaks without moving the gun. Say the gun hypothetically has the best mechanical accuracy in the world, it should shoot the same spot every time, unless you moved it with your hand or something like that. This doesn't really help us, other than we know that we shouldn't be imparting lateral motion, downward motion on the gun before the shot breaks, because we want even back pressure, and we want the bullets to go where we're looking and where we're pointing. Now, a unique advantage that red dot sights have over iron sights is what is called parallax adjust. The lenses are curved in a way that out to certain distances, the red dot will have the same point of aim relative to where your head is behind the gun. So here, I am aiming just underneath the handle on that switch box. You can see when I move the gun left and right, or the camera left and right, the dot stays relatively in the same spot. This example might be a little bit too close range, but I think it gets the point across. So that coupled with the fact that you don't have to align the front sight with the rear notch every time, and you can shoot based on the color you see, instead of the blurry image of the gun in front of you with the little ghost side image. Yeah, red dots are totally worth it. They are just faster. Not only are they faster, but I also believe they're easier to learn. And I've noticed in my own time shooting, after I got a red dot, I became a better iron sight shooter as well. Which I do for fun, because my carry gun does not have an optic on it yet. So it's just plain irons, baby. Which works out really well when I do what we call, well, I don't call it this, but I've heard some call vibes-based shooting. So I have yet to hear anyone that said vibes-based shooting explain what they mean by vibes-based shooting, but I have an idea of what vibes-based shooting is. It's based on the concept of having a repeatable index. And what do I mean by that? What I mean by a repeatable index is when you react to whatever stimulus, you draw the gun, bring it up to your eye level, and it comes up the same way every time, i.e. with the dot in your field of view, or your irons are aligned. The only problem with that is when you do it with irons, they're just gonna be blurry because you're looking at your target and you're not looking at your iron sights. You have to be looking at what you want to shoot at if you want the bullets to go there. In short, if you wanted to perceive your iron sights every time, you're losing a lot of time on your draw and on all of your shots. It's not doing you any good to, even at close range, have the gun come up, look at your sight, yeah, it's straight, shoot, and it comes back, look at your sight, yeah, it's straight. Or even if you do the predictive shooting, you bring it up, you have to look at your sight, yes, it's straight, shoot, and then shoot again. What you're basically doing, even especially if you have a fiber optic, you can do some sort of a color confirmation. You react to the color of your front sight, and if your index is good and you've been practicing it, the bullets will go where you're looking. That corner. So I have an example of myself doing vibes-based shooting on video. Is when I first got this camera. And what it was is I drew my pistol after getting done with the rifle section of a stage, and my dot was not bright enough. I slowed down because I was like, wait, I don't see my dot color. So until I did see the dot color, I noticed the dot was way too dim. So it was really hard to pick up, but I saw it. So I shot and then did the rest of the stage, barely being able to perceive my dot. However, it wasn't entirely blind because my handgun co-witnesses the irons. So even if I don't have the red dot on, I can still get a good image of what I'm shooting at and where my bullets are going to go when I'm looking at the target. So in short, should you get your slide milled to attach a red dot? Yes, and I am very biased towards the Holosun EPS carry with the 2 MOA dot. You can get other micro red dots for your pistol. This is the one I run, and it is my favorite. If you don't want to spend the extra money, you don't have to. You can still learn to become an excellent shooter with irons. But red dots, I would say, are just a straight upgrade.